In the previous video, we looked at a visual representation of the mean that hopefully helped you understand what the mean is really all about. We also saw that to calculate the mean of a set of values, what you had to do was find the total and then share that total equally amongst the number of values that you've got. So in example A, you could very easily do this with pencil and paper. You would just need to add up 3, 2, 8 and 1 and divide by 4 in this case. Now, if you were doing it with pencil and paper, I'm sure you would get it absolutely right. But the point of this video is to show you a couple of ways of doing this on a calculator. And this is a big deal because a lot of students actually make a mistake when working out the mean on a calculator, which they wouldn't make if they were using pencil and paper. I want to show you that mistake, and then I will show you two ways of calculating the mean correctly using a calculator. So keep an eye on the calculator, and I'm going to show you the mistake that a lot of students make. They do 3 plus 2 plus 8 plus 1, they hit the divided by button and then click 4. They hit equals and they get an answer of 53 over 4, which they can then convert into a decimal. They do that using this button here. Pressing that allows you to switch between a fraction like this and a decimal. So we've got an answer of 13.25. Now this is clearly wrong. How can the mean be 13.25? Remember, the mean is an average, so we would expect it to be somewhere between the lowest and highest value in the list. 13.25 is not between 1 and 8, so it can't be the mean. So what's gone wrong here? Well, remember your order of operations. What's happening first in this calculation is the 1 divided by 4, because division takes priority over addition. So what they're actually working out is this bit first, 1 divided by 4, which is a quarter, and then these are getting added on. 3 plus 2 plus 8, that's 13. 13 plus a quarter gives you 13.25. And that's not what we wanted. What we actually wanted was for all of these values to be added together first, and then that total to be divided by 4. So I'm going to show you a better way, and then I'm going to show you what I think is an even better way than that. We can fix the problem with this kind of thing by just putting brackets around the sum, so before the 3 and after the 1 in this case. Now this will give us the correct answer, and we'll see that the mean is actually 7 over 2, which is the same as 3.5. Let's just see if this passes the common sense test. The mean, remember, had to be somewhere between the lowest and the highest values in the list, and 3.5 is in between 1 and 8, so that's a good sign. Now I just want to show you another way that I actually prefer. So rather than writing this in brackets and then dividing by 4, I prefer using this button here. This button lets me input the calculation as a fraction, and that means I don't have to worry about these brackets, which is particularly useful if I'm adding some numbers that have lots of digits in them and they end up scrolling past the screen and I end up forgetting to close the bracket. Here's how that looks. I've cleared my screen and I'm going to start by hitting this fraction button. And in the numerator, I simply input the sum that I want, and in the denominator, I'm going to put 4 because I need to divide the total by 4. Hitting equals, I get the same answer as before, 7 over 2 or 3.5. So this is actually a really straightforward thing to do. Just make sure you don't fall into that trap that I showed you a bit earlier on. Either make sure you use brackets or use this fraction button feature on your calculator. Pause the video and have a go at the rest of these questions. Here are the answers you should have got.